we're going to talk about this because it's very near and dear to my heart. I can relate to it because of me growing up with a physical disability. I'm pretty sure everyone listening to this program can relate to bullying at some point in time. Because, one thing I've learned is everyone has something about them that makes them different yet unique. And it's that uniqueness that defines us. But, we have to learn how to embrace the uniqueness and not misunderstand it. When I was growing up again, and you've heard me say this before, I asked the question, why me? Because of me being born with one arm. And I couldn't understand why me. And of course, with me having such a visible physical disability, it put me on the front lines of being bullied because kids would tease. And at the time, we used different language also. We coin it now more saying bullying, but back then we recognized it as teasing. And kids used to tease me just like I'm pretty sure many of you were teased for whatever uniqueness you had about yourself. People are just like cars. We are come in all shapes and sizes, and no one looks the same. And the thing that we have to come to understanding is this: that's the thing that makes us special. And I want you to stop and search yourself as I'm talking about what makes you special. Because I've learned something in life. People will try to tear away at you just because they see something special in you that sometimes you don't see within yourself. And I've learned that it is easier for people to talk about you, to discourage you, than it is for them to say something that's going to be positive and empower you. There are almost 7 billion people in this world, and nobody is the same. Even identical twins look alike, but they're not the same. And the thing I want you to understand is this: you were born to do something special. Everyone in this life was born to do something special. You're born to touch another life, and you're born to do something that's going to change the history of this world. Now, true, your name may never go down in the pages of a documented history book, but trust me, one thing that your name will do, it will go documented down in the pages of somebody's heart. And that is because you are designed to do something special. People, we have greatness on the inside of us. And we have to remember that it's that greatness that we have to focus on. Every morning when we get up, we have an opportunity to focus on the positive or the negative. And the thing that I realize, we focus on the negative sometimes more than the positive because, unfortunately, if you look at it, we live in a negative society. I've done something myself that I've changed a lot because I want to make sure that I have the right attitude. I don't even watch the news like I used to because I find out that the news is so negative and it leaves me feeling more discouraged before I'm starting my day than I felt empowered. Now, don't get me wrong. I used to watch the news and I would be thinking to myself that, I want to know what's going on in the world. But the more I find out about what's going on in the world, the more discouraged I find out. I start listening to, first of all, you see how many people have lost their lives during the course of the night or across the world. Not only that, you find out about all kind of tragedies and uneventful things. You will hear about every airplane that's crashed, but you never hear about the airplanes that have landed. We hear about the people who lost jobs, but we never hear about the people who gained jobs. What I'm trying to show you is this: we live in a negative society. And with that negativity, people try to draw on negativity and looking at us. When you look in the mirror, you have to look at yourself in such a way where you recognize you do have something special about you. I used to I don't think I really grew up with low self-esteem because I grew up in a household where people really reinforced me. And this is something that we have to get back to. And parents, I really want you to understand what I'm saying here. The family is the strongest thing. Parents, when you build your child up, a bully cannot tear them down. The family matriarch is the strongest. I grew up in a household where my family used to tell me, hey, listen, you're a Bristow. Hold your head up. Now, understand something. Being a Bristow may not have meant anything to anybody except for the people that lived in my household. But what my family was doing was, my parents were doing, they was reinforcing and reassuring me of I am somebody. We have to do this with our children. We have to reaffirm to our children that they are somebody, that they're somebody special, and they're distinguished by their name. Now, Your name, my name is Rashad. Now, I know my mother had a reason for that name, but when I started doing a study of that name, the name means leader. It means one who is meant to be an encourager. Study your name. Know who you are. We're talking about bullying, but what I want you to understand is we're not focusing on the bully here. We're focusing on who we are, because we have to reaffirm ourselves.